From LP Savani Riverside School, Krupali Home. Students, up to today's session, we will learn some knowledge about the DNA and how the whole system is working in the new offspring's regeneration. But this creates a major difficulty if each new generation is to be the combination of the DNA copies from two pre-existing individuals. Then each new generation will end up having twice the amount of DNA that the previous generation had. This is likely to mess up the control of the cellular apparatus by the DNA. How many ways can we think for solving this difficulty? What is the difficulty is if the major difficulty if the new generation is to be combination of two copies of DNA. Suppose there is two parents and one offspring of their two parents, then half of the mother and half of the father DNA will be comes up and its copy will be regenerated, but there will be no any kind of the differences or any mutation or any error in the offspring. Then what will be happen? It will be just increase in the numbers only. There will be no kind of the variation by generation to generation. We have seen earlier that as organisms become more complex, the specialization of tissues increases. As you can take example of human beings, we are much complex organism. That's why our tissues are separated into different specialized function. One solution that may multicellular organisms have found for the problem mentioned above is to have special lineages of cell specialized organism in which only half the number of chromosome and half the amount of DNA as compared to the non-reproductive body cells. It means here was the problem, as per I told you, half from the mother and half from the father DNA will be comes up. But what if the wall DNA of mother and wall of the father will comes up? Then the offspring there will be double amount of the DNA. That's why as a solution what is happen, if there is two parent for generation of the one offspring only, then half DNA will be of the mother and half DNA will be of the father comes up, and total 100% DNA will be formed of the new generation, you can say offspring. Here this is achieved by a process of cell division called meiosis. There is a cell division process which is called meiosis. Thus when these germ cells from two individuals combine during sexual reproduction to form new individuals, it results in re-establishment of the number of chromosomes, and the DNA contained in the new generation will be remain as per the percentage. It means for the solution of that problem what will happen, the DNA will be half of from the both the parents and it will be 100% in the offspring, and it will be remain as it is as parent in the new generation. If the zygote and the process of this wall content is called meiosis. Meiosis is the one of the process of the cell division. If the zygote is to grow and develop into an organism which has highly specialized tissues and organs, then it has to have sufficient stores of energy for doing this. It means from the single cell, if baby is generated, then it will require lots of amount of the energy. In very simple organisms, it is seen that the two germ cells are not very different from another, or many even be similar. But as the body design become more complex, the germ cells also specialized. One germ cell is large and contains 4 stores, while the other is smaller and likely to be motile. Conventionally, the motile germ cell is called the male gamete, and the germ cell containing the stored food is called the female gametes. It means there will be two germ cells at the starting. The momentable germ cell will be of the male gametes and the food stored germ cell will be of the female gametes. We shall see in the next few sections how the need to create these two different type of gametes give rise to different in the male and female reproductive organs, and in some cases differences in the bodies of the male and female organisms. It means how this demand of the two germ cells is having, and how it is creating, and what to do with these two germ cells, and what is the proper function we will going to see in the ahead. First of all, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Flowering plants also follow the sexual mode of the reproduction. The reproductive parts of angiosperm are located in the flower. You have already studied the different part of flower as like sepals, petals. Petals is the colorful part. Stamens and the pistils. Stamens and pistil are the reproductive part of a flower which contain the germ cells. For the production of offspring, germ cell is a very essential thing, and that's why flowers contain the germ cells in the stamen and pistil. What possible function could the petals and sepals have? It means what is the function of the sepals and petals? You can see here, this one colorful and attractive part is the petals, and sepal is the basic part which is mostly green in almost 90% of the flower. What is the function of it? Let's see. Sepals will give support to the petal and whole flower body, and this petal will attract the insects for the pollination. The flower may be unisexual as like papaya or watermelon. There will be just one organ system of the female or male only having in the flower. When it contains either stamen or pistil or bisexual hibiscus or mustard. This is the example of bisexual flower, and this one is of this unisexual. When it contains bisexual means having both male and female reproductive system in the single flower. When it contains both stamen and pistils. Stamen is the male reproductive part. Stamen. Here is man in the spelling of stamen. So you can recall that easily. Stamen means in the male stamen is present. And pollen grains is produced inside the stamen that are yellowish in the color. It will be slightly yellowish in the colors. What? The pollen grains. You must have seen this yellowish powdered that often sticks to our hands if we touch the stamen of the flower. Pistil is present in the center of a flower, and it is the female reproductive part of the flower. Pistil is the female reproductive part, while stamen is the male's reproductive part. You can say male flower's reproductive part. It is made up of 3 parts. This pistil will be made up of the 3 parts. The uppermost portion of the pistil will be known as the stigma. Here you can read is the swollen bottom part is the ovary. Middle elongated part is the style, and the terminal part which may be sticky is the stigma. It means there is 3 parts. First one is ovary, second one is the style, and third one is the stigma. Stigma is the uppermost part and ovary is the lowermost part of the pistil. The lowermost part is known as the ovary. The uppermost part which is sticky is known as stigma. Sticky, that's why it is stigma. And the middle portion needle like which is known as the style. And the wall structure of combination of all these 3 parts are known as the pistil. The ovary contains ovules, and each ovule has an egg cell. And inside this ovary there will be ovules, and each and every ovules will have the egg cells. It means flowers have pistil have ovary at the lowermost parts, and ovary have ovules, and ovules have the egg cells inside the ovule. The male germ cell produced by the pollen grain fuses with the female gametes present in the ovule. It means from the male gametes, male germ cell, it will be transferred to the stigma. You can say it pollen grains. This fusion of germ cells or fertilization gives us the zygote which is capable of growing into a new plant. The fusion of both this female egg cell which is already present inside the ovules of the ovary, and then after through the help of stigma it will comes to our pollen grains will be travel toward the ovary, and both the fusion will give rise to new plant, and this is known as the regeneration inside the plant. Thus, the pollen needs to be transferred from the stamen to the stigma. If and only pollen will transfer to stamen to stigma from male to female reproductive system, then only fertilization is possible. If this transfer of pollen occurs in the same flower, this is referred to as self-pollination. In the bisexual flower, it is possible. On the other hand, if the pollen is transferred from one flower to another, it is known as the cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is also possible in unisexual flower. This transfer of pollen from one flower to another achieved by agents like wind, water, or the animals or birds. We will see less of the content in the next session.